Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again, and this is early Saturday morning, about 3 o'clock, just about, I'm sure. But I wanted to get to you, and I wanted to talk to you for a few moments, and I wanted to remind you that there's some major things happening in our country today, and we have been given an opportunity to move like we have never been given before. And I don't want you to be sidetracked, and I don't want you to be distracted. I want you to focus on it because what decisions you make determines how all of us will be affected in one way or another. And what am I basically saying? I'm saying our nation is being ripped apart. Now, our nation in our lifetime has never been a perfect nation, and it has been so far from being perfect. So far from being perfect. But it was held together even if there were bandages, and there were some bandages at certain spots. But nevertheless, the nation was still held together with the promise that we could go forward. However, we find out that going forward was being hesitated and it was not really moving. And as a result of that, we ended up with a president of the United States who represents all of the stuff that we as American people have tried to, on one hand, deny, and others just were ignorant of the fact that it was happening. But we have in the White House a person who is making sure that all of the evil that it can be mustered up is perpetrated upon this nation. Now that's an evil, ladies and gentlemen. Whether this man is possessed by a demon or not, is evil. I do know that the evil that he represents, the evil that he is reflecting, is evil that he has learned from this nation. And as that being the situation, he is the victim as well. But however, there is a victimization that goes to a certain point, and that victimization ends when it's confronted with truth. And the truth is this: though this young man will take us, this nation, to hell with all nations that have gone there before us, here is a chance for you to make the right decision. And that decision is this: where do you want to go? Do you want to go to hell with all of those thousands of haters who will assemble themselves at a rally, putting the fear of death from a pandemic aside, who will come arm themselves, ready to come together and collude about hate, to collude about the disrespect for a human being that they have treated for hundreds and thousands of years as slaves, second-class citizens. And now they are ready to arm themselves and kill, not knowing that they have left a description to those same people that if you want to get back at the man who is abusing you, do to him what he has done to you. And what is it that he's done to you to destroy you? He's burned you out first and then killed you out. So he thinks that you will burn him out. That's what he fears the most. So what would a white man do to you? So what I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, this is what's happening. Not only is he ready to do it to the people that have been treated as second-class citizens, he's willing to do it to you. He's willing to drive these people to a point where they haven't gone before, where they are willing to retaliate in such a form that it will harm you too. They will be bombing, trying to get these people that they have oppressed, and in the process be bombing you. Why? Because it's power that they might be seeking, and they don't want to give it up for anything. But what I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, the choice here is that or of a political party that really played a part in bringing you to this point. And now what they're offering you is an inner tube, something to keep you from going under. Keep you from going under. The Republican Party and Trump, they're dragging, they're sucking the best they can to take you under. But here's the Democratic Party giving you a life float so you can float. Is that good enough? Why would you want to stay here? It depends. You can stay long enough, some fish come by and stick a hole in the flotation device. Why don't you go higher? Why don't you go higher? You can't go higher because you're following the same leadership that you've always followed. And their leadership has always been corrupt. Not only that, you don't want to go places that you don't know. And You don't know what's up there above the clouds. You don't know what's up there beyond the status quo. You don't know. But ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, it's wonderful up there. Because we have before us right now a people who have lived 400 years as slaves. They know the pain. They know the persecution. And for 400 years they have endured this. But something in nature and the powers that we can't see is calling us to stand above where we've been. And we're accepting that challenge. And what do we see, ladies and gentlemen, is that going to hell is not on our plan. Staying right where we are is not on our plan. And anybody that looks like someone that played a part in wherever we are here today is no place for me to put my faith in. So Joe Biden is a good man, I'm sure. I mean, if I was ignorant and stupid and didn't know any better, I would definitely choose him over Donald Trump. But the reason that I know better is because I have information. I have knowledge of a better way. I have knowledge of a way that says that your needs and your wants and your desires should be met. I have knowledge of how that can be done. I have knowledge that those things that are essential for your survival and just for you to have a measure of life, I have knowledge of how that happens. Yes, my friends, I do. Not only that, that includes food, clothing, shelter, never to be without it. Yes, and every last one of you requires and want it, desire it, need it. Education, unlimited and unrestricted. You've heard me say it on any of my videos. Health care from the womb to the tomb. And all of the other amenities, transportation, and everything else that you guys are involved in. And the way the process works, ladies and gentlemen, is that everybody benefits from it. Everybody participates in the creation thereof. A partnership, brotherhood, a family of human beings working together because each of you have been given a gift, a career choice that you would engage yourselves in through that participation. And it will give you your greatest joy to know who you are, why you are, and being just that. An instrument of creation, assisting and aiding in the process of the maintenance of society. Great. You can't do without you. You know it. And so when we bring stuff back, food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, transportation, any other thing that exists, it all belongs to the team. We. So we don't have to take biting off a bait costs money that's controlled by someone else who manipulates nations and powers and cause wars and lies and cheating and all of that, my friends, is the same thing that's in the White House right now. That's the process, trying to take you down. And Democratic Party, I'm sorry, you might just be a hair, your flotation might work for a second, but it's not good enough. We got to go higher than that. If they offer us the worst, then we got to offer them the best. That's what we got to offer the people. Don't be trying to give them a flotation device. If they want to take you to hell, then you take them to heaven. If they want to take you down so low, you take them as far as you can go. What does that mean? That means giving all that evil stuff out of the way and allowing life to live. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it would take a person of color to do that. It would take somebody who has been oppressed. Now, people might say, but you don't know, if you're talking about me, if you were talking about me. Somebody say, well, you don't know anything about government, how government works. I'm not like Trump. I don't know everything. I do know how some government works, but I do not know enough about it for me to say I can sit there and run the whole doggone government. But I do believe beyond a shadow of doubt, there are people in every area of government, in every capacity, that's a genius. They've been doing it for so long, they wanted to do it right. There are people that were made for doing just that. And they, my friends, they're the ones that will be working for the team. They're the ones that will be in place for the team. What I know, if it were me, is where we want to go. And that's as far as we can go, and that's heavenly. And that means taking every last one of us. Even taking those people that's going to be assembling with Donald Trump or whatever, their guns and talking about hatred and talking about killing us. We're going to drag them to heaven with us. Somebody said, well, why would you take them to heaven? Don't you know they would come up to heaven and try to corrupt it? Hey, but I do know this. Before they get up in heaven, they're going to already be cleansed. My job is not to do anything to hold them back. So, if you can ride with us as far as you can go, come on, because we ain't going to hurt you. Anything that stop you, it'll be yourself and God. So, ladies and gentlemen, when they say, well, look how many years Biden has served in government. I say, I tell you this, look at this. When Biden or whomever was serving in government, perhaps, I don't know, I was in the military. Yes. And when the commander-in-chief started exercising policies that worked against those who were hurting, those of you who are poor, and those of you who are people of color and suffering, made me embarrassed to wear the uniform. And I refused to wear the uniform and refused to accept an honorable separation from the military. That was my disgust. Now, you know of a presidential candidate that would stand up for you like that? That speaks for me. And that's what I did it for, so it could speak for me at a time like this. When I saw the housing crisis and stuff going on, I had answers. I know my answers are not the normal answers in the box that everybody is familiar with. But I bring it forth, and you got every little distraction to keep from hearing. So yes, I commit a crime against the state. I commit a crime against the people of the United States. Didn't cause anybody any harm. Why? So I can state on the records, on the court's records, that I stood for peace and prosperity and freedom and joy of life, fulfillment of dreams. That's what I stood for, and that's what I offered for. And I wanted it on records. I wanted you to come to the trial and hear it, but you didn't come because they didn't want you to know about it. But it's on the records. Now, that's someone who cares about you. I'm not talking about making money, because I know the system has got to change. There's no doubt. I can't think of a way. Now, there might be some geniuses amongst you who know of a way where this thing can work. I wonder what you've been doing. Maybe you've been held down like I have been. But I do know of a way, and that's recognizing the truth. The truth is that everything belongs to all the people on earth. If you want to say the boundaries of the United States belong to the people of the United States, then so on and so forth across the earth for now. Why? Because it's available to those people, so they can use it for whatever they can get out of it for the purposes that they need, and trade with others to get additional stuff that they need or want. And that was all given to us by God. And that nobody got any control of it, and that's how we work it out to work for the benefit of all. And that's God in any system that comes out like that. And that means no money. That means no substitute for money. That means we looking after one another. Now, I know I repeated myself a couple of moments there for that, but I'm saying that this is what the future holds in order for us to get off of this inner tube and go higher. And that means, ladies and gentlemen, that when you go to the polls, you don't vote for the Republicans that's trying to take you to hell. You don't vote for the Democrats that's just trying to keep you afloat. You vote for yourselves, stating to the nation and to all of the powers that be, that by your power, you're going to do everything you possibly can to sail higher. And if you can work with everybody else together to get higher, then that's your mark. That the Republican Party and the Democratic Party just ain't good enough. And you're going to go higher. By signing your name, that is what you'll say. And don't you worry about it right now. Just watch some videos. I'll tell you some more information. And as you get information, respond to me. Let me know what you need to know. And I will share it with you as the Spirit gives it to me. And next time, until then, Eddie Marcus.